start to show me confrontation, and then I'm getting into the training. Okay? I want him to not want to come with me so that I can have an argument with him and then win that argument. Okay, so now he's starting an argument here. Do you see this? This tenseness, this is me asking him to come over here. This is a disagreement between me and him. This is what I'm looking for, so that I can correct him for disagreeing. If you correct him for disagreeing every step of the way, every day, you get a dog who's compliant and respectful. If you let him make decisions, especially after being stubborn and going against what you said, then you get a dog who thinks that they're dominant and that they have a say in the matter, and then that's a dog that'll fight when you finally try to put your foot down. Which this guy is, he's 11 or 10, like that. Okay. So we're gonna get him to follow me out here today by correcting the resistance. Simple enough. Corrections are on the e-collar. There you go. And we're off. Okay. Hold on. Get tight. Good. The dog's job is to see what the human wants, not the other way around. Good boy. So I have to teach him how to follow him instead of leading humans, which is a hard pill to swallow when you've been king of the house for many, many years, a decade. You know, just ruling multiple humans. I think it's 2 humans that live with them, right? Just
And
controlling
kids.
2 humans for a decade. I came in with some low pressure. If he were to not listen to that, I'd go higher. So he's learning to respect the leash and respect that where I go, he's attached. Good. And you'll see this creates a follower. Good. But you can't do it unless you've already got a chunk of respect from him. Otherwise, you have to gain the respect right here, and they buck and they come up the leash and all sorts of stuff. They'll try to correct you. Once you win that little battle, this stuff becomes easy. Good. Because they respect you enough to listen to you. And if you want to deepen your respect, you find a spot where he's so overwhelmed and distracted that he decides not to listen to you, and you work him through that, and you make sure you get him to listen through those distractions and up your respect even more. So it's all about correcting him for disagreeing and then correcting him for trying to correct you for disagreeing. You understand? That's what dominant dogs do. Great. So we're having conversations every second here. That's just the conversation. Good. And if you think of it like that, like right here is a disagreement. Right? Good. He looks at me for direction. Good. We're all good. Right? You see what I'm doing here? It's not mud. But now I'm starting to sneak away. Good. Take it easy on him. He's an older guy. Make it very obvious. Good. What's going on here? Good. See that one? That one I almost wanted him to see me start to sneak away so that I could start to teach him that he can avoid a consequential fall. Good. No consequence that time. Good boy. That happens right away. Right away he needs to learn there's a consequence and here's how you avoid it. ASAP. As soon as I can. Good. Good boy. That's my boy. And if you can do that with any command that you're teaching, you see it just the rapid growth of their learning. It happens very, very fast and it feels very natural. But if they don't understand how to escape the consequence or what the e-collar means, then you start to see very messy stuff. Or maybe they do understand, but they have a big attitude that you didn't address yet, and now you're addressing it on this exercise, which any exercise we put a dog through, as far as how to learn a command, if they start to throw an attitude, we know how to continue to train the command and address that attitude at the same time with every command in every situation. Okay? So he's getting his choices taken away, which, you know, he's starting to accept. Good. And once he starts to accept, I make sure I treat him well. But the longer we go on, the more he's going to not want to go walking because he's going to want to go back inside. And we're going to use that opportunity. Okay, let's go.
No.
Now I'm going to start asking him to pretty much heel. And we're going to see if there's attitude because I'm restricting his... Up till now, I wasn't asking him to be too close to me. Good. just a little bit more. Good boy. Good boy. That a boy. Nice. Good boy. Break. Do some recall for a little while. Let him have some wandering time and then go back to that walk. See, this is why the long line's important, because all of a sudden I drop the leash and I walk away this far, it changes what he believes his options are. He now thinks, wow, I could probably just run away, right? So we get to work on that while we're teaching as well, okay? Come, that's my boy right here. Good, that was a correction and then another recall, right? You know us by now, we don't let the dogs go past us. We always repeat until we get it right. Good. Boy. Break. Very good boy. You want to come switch over here? Come on. So usually what I'll do is actually do like a little mini hike with him. And then take advantage of the little opportunities he gives me, like not following me or not listening to a recall or something. Okay? And then that enters the conversation, and from there we work on our training and we work on our attitude, because that's the thing with all these dogs is the problem is when they don't listen. So we actually program their brains so when we have that moment of confrontation, they know just do what you're told, all right? And then we don't see our dogs having these little fits, and then life is good. Come. That's a good boy. Good. Now this exercise. Come. To get that cleaned up, that position. Good. 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 Come. That's my boy. Good. Come on, big guy. You can handle this. Good. That cleans up the recall position. Very nice. Proud of you. Gonna let him have some free time. What? Break. Okay. Pressure from following the pack down here, and then he gets to decide, is he going to follow us or is he going to try to go do his own thing? The minute he decides to do his own thing is when we go into training. Or if he just stands there forever, then we go into training and we do a rep. And this is how we get the association to our commands to mean this is serious and drop everything you're doing and do it. If we train it in a party setting, then when we try to use it in real life, they're going to have the association of it being a party. That's why you don't see us doing the whole, it's a party, unless you're training a really young dog and it's just to get the foundation started. You don't want to do that stuff with guys like this. It doesn't work in the real world. Come. Good boy. That's my boy. Good. So come. Good. Okay. Sit. It's good. So the brain literally goes into confrontation, and then that's when we make sure we win that conversation and get a rep of our commands. So you start to see that it snaps them right out of it. Any command word will snap them out of that place of being disobedient. And then of course, a final product with this program is if he is disobedient, click, and then he's not, and then he listens, right? Good boy. Now I'm gonna ask him to stay. It's funny because that's all he wanted to do up there, but now that I've asked him, you know, because he's got the temperament of just having a problem with authority, literally you see it just like a little kid. They want to do the opposite of what you asked, right? If you're like, stay, then he wants to fucking get up. If you say, come here, then he's like, well, actually, I want to stay. And so that right there is his problem in a nutshell. That is the entire reason he's here. So we are tackling that. Every second I'm interacting with him, I'm talking about that issue. I'm bringing it up through context of being on the walk, going to eat, around other dogs, anything I can think of, a threshold. I'm sitting here having the conversation of you're gonna listen to me even when it's difficult or even when you don't want to, because this is what happens when you don't, and we're just consistent. He can throw a fit right now, and then he's gonna calm down, and we're gonna continue to train. We don't stop until good behavior, and then he can go relax. Okay? Changes dogs. It changes them. Because all of a sudden, like Julie said to you guys the other day, all of a sudden that the behavioral box of what behaviors are available to them becomes small. And once they accept that trying to reach for these other behaviors ends in a correction, then they only choose from the little box of behaviors that you've approved of. Got your fucking stamp of approval on those behaviors from Julie's Canine Academy, and they will be doing those no problem, but they'll see those other ones off limits. And that's when you see a dog who stops whining and stops worrying and stops pushing about the environment because they've accepted that they're going to be living within the program that we've set out, and they love it, right? Here's where it gets tricky though. If he goes with me, he sees it this way because I trained him like this. As soon as I bring him back to his owner, he sees them and sees all the other behaviors that he used to be able to do. So what you're mistaking as love when he comes and runs to you, he's like, all my behaviors, I get to go do them. And then he associates with them that these behaviors are all still totally valuable options. So what happens? He acts up and he starts doing these behaviors. This is how dogs do, every dog. So they have to go home, and literally the owner has to start saying no to those, just like we did, and yes to the training, right? And so within a course of a week or so, then they straighten up and they behave it at home like they do here. Where it fails is if the owner fails to create the same environment and the same experiences as we did. In our experience, the only reason that fails is because people are just not on top of their ship. They're not running a tight ship at home when they need to. Okay? So I'm gonna ask him to stay there. We're gonna create some distance. See what he does with this. No. It's his first time at this distance. Good boy. That's a good choice. I wanna see what he does with my sounds. If I shush when you're in a sit and you get up as I'm walking away, do you think that means come to me? Because it doesn't. It means stay. Right? Or if I say no while you're walking to me, do you think that means continue to walk, right? So I'm reading him to see where his knowledge is. Good boy. Atta boy, get it. Go do it. Get it. Go get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Easy. Big guy. Who hurt himself. Good boy, thank you for that. Hey, one seat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, free. Good boy. That's good. Maverick and I are coming real close for him accepting me. It's so close. We have our really good moments where we're really bonding. And I see those moments of disagreement from him become shorter and shorter. So we are on the right track, me and my boy. That's a good boy. All right? Yeah, I see it in there. I see a very good boy in there. I see like a young dog still. Good. Good. Very nice gentleman. But you see the triggers and you see the associations and you see how deep they are in that brain. It's like once he goes into that spot, he's in there. So we're knocking him out of that. When he gets there, we're snapping him off that track and we're rerouting the way he feels when these situations occur. And this will have to go home because it'll go right back when he gets home, and then you start correcting and you see really much faster than you would have if you did this at home all by yourself. You'll see him start to have that healthy association because this E-collar pressure reminds him of everything he learned here. This is the saving grace. When he feels this, he has the associations that we've created. So as soon as you start hitting this, he starts getting memories of Julie's Canine Academy, and it's fighting the associations of the old environment. So that's the incredible thing is you can take the associations he has here, and as long as you're clicking this when he starts to go into his old associations, you will bring him back to what we created, which is this calm, polite, respectful guy. It's beautiful. That's why this has to be so powerful. The associations we capture on this have to be very vivid in his mind when he gets a correction, and he has to know what's expected of him, and you'll see the associations change over time. Over a course of, with an old guy like this, 10 years, 11 years old, give him a few months, right? But then if it's a puppy, you'll see the change in a few days, but that's the difference. That's the price to pay because he's so old. Good. Good. We need to create a whole new routine with him that has him living with this frame of mind, and then it becomes normal. You know, a month in, it'll be his new normal, and things will be easy, very easy with this guy. Come. That's good boy. Oh my gosh. And I'm starting to see him eager to please, which is something I haven't seen from him yet. I don't know if the owners have experienced it from time to time when he wants to, like maybe a piece of food, you see the side of him, but he's gonna start offering that side of him without food. because my pets are going to be very rewarding. It makes them feel proud if you do this right. If you pet them, they feel very good. Like you seen with Riggins a second ago, after I pet him after he barked, he's like, yes, I did it right. That's what we want with our pets. We don't want it to just mean nothing. It has to mean a lot to them, right? Good boy. Good boy. I'm proud of you. Break. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. You're good. You ran out of line, but you're good. There we go. Now I want him to explore. That was a very good moment for him. That all that there, what was that, 10 minutes? He was trying, he was tuned in with me, he made some mistakes. That's okay, that's what this is about, me teaching him. But his mind is much more willing to listen to me.
19 minutes.
So now what we're gonna do is I'm just literally going to let him go wherever he wants, and I'm gonna follow him. And then eventually I'm gonna call him back, and that'll be enter a conversation again. And he has a choice, either come right to me, and then I'm gonna be fucking thrilled, right? I'm gonna be so happy, I'm gonna be throwing a party for him. Or stop and think about it. And then there's a correction. No, don't stop and think about it, because that's you entering an argument with me, and I'm not gonna take it. I'm not that type of person, right? When I say one of these 5 commands, just do them. And then we have a good life. That's the message every day that he gets, okay? Good boy, come on, let's go. See, that's good stuff, but that's because we're heading in the direction that he wants to go in. Which is like kennel so I can get my food. Conversation. He's asking, can I go in the car? So I, as a trainer, am like, this is perfect. Because he wants to do that, and I'm going to ask him to go in the opposite direction of the thing he wants to do. So I can enter the conversation. Conversation of, are you going to listen to me without a doubt, or are you going to argue with me? Okay? And this is my job. This is what I do every day. And I see the benefits of this. And then once the dog is over the hump, or past this point where they don't question you anymore, they're a joy to be around, and we just go and have fun. And then that's an important part of the training too, right? He's already thinking about listening to me and not himself. Come. That's good. See how fast that was? Good. But he still has a chance to mess up here. Right there. Come. Good. That's a mess up because look back at the car. Thinking about the car. That's questioning what I said. Good. So you see how I view it? That's good. And now I'm going to put him away because he did amazing. I just want to enter that conversation one more time. Right here, he thought about it. I mean, I'm giving him a low number to remind him, hey. But if he argues with that, then we're going into that punishment stuff. Because you can't do that to a human. You can't do that to anybody. Let it go. And he's letting it go. Wonderful. We have a bright future ahead. Okay? Break. All right, let's go get you some water and all that good stuff.